the comments from my respected elder brother, Kwankwaso, is the reason why we have 100 million Nigerians living in poverty. The reason why we have 18 million Nigerian children out of school. It is the reason why we have over 55% of Nigerians in under unemployment ladder. It's the reason why we have all the problems, why Nigeria is insecure. Because rather than vote for competence, we will choose to vote for incompetence based on a primitive consideration of ethnicity and religion. Tell me, today you can't travel from Abuja to Kaduna by air, by road, by train. Is it because somebody from the southeast is in charge? You can't travel from Abuja to Mina by road. Is it because somebody from the southeast is in charge? Yesterday we had an attack by bandits on the presidential convoy in Katsina. Is it because the president from southeast is in charge? Show me where you can buy food cheaper, you have uninterrupted electricity, or people are prospering in the north because the northerners are in power, in the southwest because they're in power, and in the southeast. What we're choosing to do in this country, we will consistently hire vehicle drivers to fly the Nigerian aeroplane instead of hiring qualified pilots. My commitment is let us campaign and deal with issue of the problems of the country. There's a lot of problems besieging this country. If you don't know today, this country will soon default in their debt service. Now we'll be rated junk status. That's what should be preoccupying us now. So our schools, universities are shut down, and we're talking about who will vote for. Let's deal with the issues. This election will not be based on my turn. It will not be based on ethnicity. It will not be based on religion. It will be based on the Nigerian agenda to save this Nigeria. Nigeria is in coma. I need a specialist, and that is what I'm offering. To save his life or he will die. I'm appealing to people to vote to save Nigeria. And to save Nigeria is to hire the best. I don't want people to vote for me because I'm from the southeast. I don't want people to vote for me because I'm from south-south, or I'm from southwest, or northwest, or northeast, or north central. I want them to vote for P2B because he's a Nigerian who is competent to start pulling Nigeria out of the mess it is today. Often at time we tend to neglect those on the lower ladder. They might be the solution. They might be the solution. And those comments are comments that should not be on the table today because we have a problem. My candidacy is actually meant to solve those problems, to stop referring those who are higher ladder, because, okay, those who are higher ladder have brought us where we are. Maybe we need those on the lower ladder to be able to deal with it. And that's what, even his comment, let me take a large comment, which you said. He said, I'm competent to be the vice president because of my knowledge of the economy. Let me tell you, Nigerian problem is the economy. So why do you want somebody who has knowledge of what the problem is to be vice? That is what I'm saying. You want to use the people who should be on reserve bench to start the match when, no. He mentioned that I have the knowledge. The Nigerian problem is the economy. It is the economy because people don't have job, because people don't have means of livelihood, you push them into criminality, into agitation, into all sorts of problems we're facing today. And that is what I'm saying, that I have the knowledge to start pulling these people out of poverty. I will start dealing with cutting costs in order to be able to pull Nigerians out of poverty, to be able to reduce. Go and look at it. So it is actually what is telling you, what Bubakadima said, I would say, is P2B is qualified to be vice president. Everybody have said it, not just Bubakadima. You've heard other people like Chief Servant in Niger said it, everybody said he's competent. But what is the problem of Nigeria? Economic problem.
So I do also have to raise comments made by Alhaji Mahdi Shehu, chairman of the Dialogue Group, on another show on the Arise News Network, where he said that during your time as governor of Anambra, you wanted northerners working in Anambra to wear a badge of identification. Frankly, that sounds like something out of Nazi Germany, where Jews had to wear a yellow badge, and that it was only until the intervention of Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso that you then backed down from that idea. He also raised this issue that was trending on social media, an allegation that your son was the person pictured who was dressed in Biafran attire standing on the Nigerian flag. I'd like you to address those two issues.
Well, I will even add that he mentioned the issue of my sponsoring IPOB. Let me tell you, I've said it One, go and check the records and check his facts. I've never been involved in sponsoring any agitation, be it IPOB or anyone. I've never. In 2017, which I'm sure you referred, I made a comment. I said, IPOB and all other agitations are as a result of leadership failure over the years that failed to address the critical areas of development. So it was the creation of the things were a creation of government. And I can say today that if I'm in power, I will deal decisively with all agitations through dialogue and through proper leadership. And when I finish that, if there are remnants of criminality in it, I deal with it decisively. That's what is happening everywhere. I followed issue of agitations globally. I do things with studies, and it can be dealt with. On issue of badge and identification, it's a lie. It never happened. And let me tell you, throughout the time I was governor, Kwankwaso never visited me. I can't remember. In fact, I probably haven't met Kwankwaso until maybe, I don't know, there are people I met maybe after I became governor or not close to him. You know, it's somebody that I see as a senior brother, respect me, but he never visited me as a governor or intervened on anything. And to tell you why it's a lie, all the commissioners that served with me throughout the time I was in office are from the north. I never had the privilege of having any commissioner from Southwest, South. They are all from the north. I can show you 6 of them. From John Haruna to Nazaba. Most of them, if I told them I'm from Kanu, my ADC, Mohammed, is from Kanu. So who will I give the order? Will I give them an order to go and deal with their own people? No, every other person calls his brother, his sister, his mother, listen to be his ADC. My ADC is from Kanu, and we remain close to today. Very, very close. You can go and ask him. I'm not somebody who asks that. On the issue of my son, it is not my son. My son is a professional who is consumed by his... let me tell you, I just came back from London. I can't even see my son. He's consumed by her work. He will tell me that, listen, Dad, I like, how are you? How is politics? How is your campaign? I like what you're doing. To me, I can exchange my messages with my son. My son will tell you, listen, Dad, I don't have time for this. I did this, I did. I've stayed in a week in New York. I could not see my son because he was busy doing what he's doing. So he doesn't have time for that. That thing happened in Jani. My son doesn't live in Jani, he lives in the UK.
Okay.
And he's consumed by his work.
Okay.
And I want Alhaji, I can tell him, I'll bet any amount for anybody to prove or say that is my son. He's shorter. He's listening, so I want to assemble the type of team I had in Anambra State and I said to them from day one, if you agree with me in 3 meetings, you go. That means you don't have your own idea. I want those who can look at my face and say, Mr. President, you're wrong. And you're wrong. Because I don't know everything.
Okay, let's talk subsidies. In the last 10 years, subsidies has got over 40 billion. It's a sinking pipe. What would you do about subsidies? Would you remove subsidies? What's the definitive answer?
Well, thank you. I was going to mention that we have spent over $40 billion in subsidy. Fine. Our total education expenditure in the past 10 years, total education expenditure in the past, in fact, 12 years, is about 8 trillion. So in 10 years, about 8 trillion. 8 trillion is about 20, let me use 400. It's about $20 billion. Tell me, Rufai, which country of the world, the most two critical engine of development is health and education. And your expenditure in health and education in the past 10 years is about $20 billion. Go and check the records. And you spent 40 in subsidy.
$40 billion.
40 billion subsidy. Rufai, to even add, this is 50% of it. If we had spent the next 20 billion in power, we would have been generating and distributing today 20,000 megawatts of
We
electricity.
spent 16 billion or 16 trillion thereabout in the facilities. They keep using that 16 billion.
For me,
yeah.
I don't want to deal with the issue of the past. That's what they said, Obasanjo spent. But I'm saying in the past 10 years. And I'm talking about 2010 or 2012 to 2022. Within this period, this is what we have spent in subsidy alone.
Yeah.
That means subsidy alone would have solved a lot of our issues in education, in health, and in power. If we have 20,000 megawatts of electricity today, I can assure you that we'll be growing at more than 4% and would have added over $100 billion in our GDP. So what it is that this is just subsidy. within the same period, as you know, we borrowed $90 billion. So subsidy of 40, you borrowed about $90 billion, which you're servicing. If you put the debt servicing, you could see a total mismanagement of resources that would have changed the entire north. That vast land would have been a huge farmland. Rufai, if you audit what we are importing and consuming, there's no way it will be this amount. And you have to convince people. Let me tell you why people are against removal of subsidy. People are against removal of anything because whenever it's been done, they did not see the benefit. We did privatization. We didn't see the benefit. What we did is that we privatized profits, socialized losses. We did everything we've done. We did other things here that have been done everywhere. If you say you're going to remove this, what are we getting here? The problem you have in Nigeria is that they've removed this, nobody got anything here. So we are going to do it in such a way that it will be transparent. This is the amount of our importation. This is the amount we're going to spend. And if we reduce it or do this, this is what you're going to get. And you deliver that, people will believe you. I've been able to return schools in Anambra State or do things that when I was doing it, people say, no, you cannot do it. Have you go and watch what my former head of service wrote? Stinginess as a strategy of development. He showed how I cut the cost of everything and showed what I used it to do. You must not come and say, we're going to remove this. What are we going to get as a remove? Because of mistrust. Because the whole thing has been embedded in transaction and stealing of, so people don't want to hear it. But you cannot spend that amount on subsidy when your health, education, and pulling people out of poverty is suffering.
So you remove subsidy?
Well, like I said, everything has to be, if this is going to happen, this is the result.
Would you remove subsidy?
We have to look at it critically.
Would you remove subsidy?
Remember what I said? Yes and no. We have to study. I will remove it, but I have to offer them what will be equivalent of what we are removing.
So your answer on subsidy is yes and no?
Yes.
No. Would you remove subsidy?
Yes, but because because I'm going to use the resources to do something that will benefit. But if I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to remove it.
Okay.
You must be able to offer something in replacement of what you're trying to do. I cannot spend $40 billion on subsidy and spend 50% of that in education and health. Even in security, where our security budget have not been up to that. Are you saying that subsidy is more important than security of life and property? These are things you must do. You must be able to say, if we keep this, we will not get this. If we keep this, we will not get this. But because of mistrust, I will say that subsidy is a scam. And I still maintain it. So we have to look at it. How much are we importing? Who is consuming it? Why are we going to keep this? And there's so many scams all over the place, including the cost of governance. We're going to look at it. It's not going to be a business as usual. And that is why people are telling you, oh, it's good at the economy, it's not good at this, it's not that good, because they know that if I'm at the number one position, I'll be able to say, no, you can't continue with this. So they want a situation where it will continue, but let Peter be here. If I'm qualified to be vice president, I'm qualified to be president.
This was when Peter Obi explained the issue of subsidy removal. Would you remove subsidy, yes or no? Rufai wanted to put words into his mouth, but he explained, he answered the question, yes or no. But yes, he answered. And he explained to you what would follow after subsidy removal. You know, as a businessman or as a serious-minded person, there are some questions you don't just jump into saying yes or no to. You need explanation to the question because you need to know the reason why the question is being asked. And when you answer yes or no, what follows after? That's why as a businessman or as a serious-minded person who understands what he's doing, who knows what he's doing, you don't just jump into conclusions. You don't just say yes or no to some questions. Some questions need explanation. You need to explain before you arrive at your yes or no. That's what he did. He explained to you what follows then after. Now, Tinubu from day one, he said without explanation to you what he was going to do or what he is not going to do. He just said, because at that time, everybody can pay based on this. Because Peter Obi took time to explain. This is not just the first video he explained. He took time, he explained to Nigerians what he was going to do. Others never did. What would you do with subsidy removal? Would you remove it? He explained. But Tinubu never had any interview where he explained what subsidy removal, because he listens to people like Peter Obi said they were going to remove subsidy. Atiku said they were going to remove subsidy, but they had different plans. But this man, Tinubu, does not have any plan. He followed the influence of people saying that they were going to remove subsidy. That was the reason why he did not think ahead. He never thought of anything from day one because of that joy overzealous. He just said subsidy gone from day one. Inaugural speech. Everybody would have thought people are celebrating, rejoicing to see this man. They are, according to INEC and Supreme Court, made him the election, made him the winner. People would have been rejoicing from that very day, celebrating ahead of what he had in stocks, what he was going to do, deliver to the country. But immediately on that same day of celebration, he said subsidy gone. That put Nigeria into this problem quagmire we are still facing today. They want today. Nigeria never knew peace. Nigeria never knew joy, no happiness, no progress in the country. Nothing. The insecurity is order of the day. Poverty follows. That subsidy gone. Poverty follows. Insecurity follows. Hardship follows. Everything negative you could think of follows that issue of subsidy gone, because he does not think of anything. He has nothing in store. He has nothing to offer. Now, what are we seeing today? Poverty, hardship, complete. Are you happy with the current situation? No, you are not happy. I'm very sure about that. So, this is APC for you. No agenda, no policies. That's the reason why you see 2 years, after 2 years in office, problem complexity follows. Every policies they introduce, even they themselves, APC member, they kicked against those policies that is not working, is not good enough for issue of subsidy removal to cushion the effect after subsidy removal. Problem upon problem. So this actually shows to you that you can't compare original with a photocopy. They are different. Tinubu is a photocopy. He follows. It's just like when you are writing an exam, you sat beside somebody, you are just stretching your hand, your head to look at somebody's, because you just write. At the end of the day, your sentence does not make sense. It does not correspond, or it does not go the same way with the one you copy, because at the end of the day, you don't even know. You understand? It becomes something that's confused. That's what Tinubu is doing. What are you saying today? So this is why 2027 again, we must not make mistake. So APC, Tinubu does not understand. He's not an economist. He does not understand economy. He doesn't know. And he's not a businessman. He doesn't know. You know, when you make money you don't expect. That's why you see sometimes people failed in businesses. Or you see some working class boys, as they fail because they just hit money. Sometimes they just want to venture into something they had no idea of. At the end of the day, they failed, and the working class school of businesses they are doing, it starts giving them money. And the business they do collapses. It doesn't, because they don't have any idea what to do or how to do it, because they have the money, they just want to try one thing or the other. You could agree with me. There's a lot of people like that who failed in their business because there's no idea. They never learned something. They don't know. So this one is different. Do you understand? So subsidy gone, subsidy removal. What do you do with the process of that subsidy? What do you do? Nothing. Tinubu never explained to us. He continued to say, don't worry, we are working, we are doing this, don't worry, Nigeria should be patient with them. You are not showing example. You are not showing example to the citizens. There are reasons why they should be patient with you, why you try to do your reforms. Or 2 years, you are still making complaints here and there. So if Tinubu can't make it work in 2 years, after 2 years in office, he can't get it right, what gives you the assurance that he's going to get it right after 2027? If he wins again, what gives you the assurance is that he's going to get it right? No, he can't give what he does not have. If he has it in store, he would have delivered since. Do you understand? He doesn't have it. He can't give you what he does not have. Tinubu is not the one. In fact, a lot is going on in Tinubu's government. That's why I'm asking you. If he can't get it right, if it is a businessman, if it is somebody who understands economy, if it is someone who cares about the citizens, who feel the pains of the hardship we went through Buhari's time, if this man feel the pains at that time, because it doesn't affect him and his family, he was not aware of the poverty in the country when before in Buhari's time, because he put Buhari there, he's not going to see the negative side, the poverty side, because he was not affected, his family. That's the reason why he could stand at that podium to say subsidy gone without thinking through, not talking through about the effect, what could happen then after. That is it. It's not, he can't do it. He can't give you what he does not have. 2027 is still going to be the same thing. It's still going to be trial and error policies according to article. There's no difference between first term and what he's going to do, or even differences. First term would have where he discharged his excellency, his duty, performances to Nigerians, reasons why Nigerians should vote for him in second term. But he failed to deliver that excellency. He fails to deliver. If he comes back again, what you see now in first term is going to be reduced. If Tinubu has passed, any president, if he has performed 100% in office in first term, that is the reason why you will vote for him in second term. That he will use that to capture the mind of the citizens that he's working. But in second term, after he get it in second term, he continues. Then you will see reduction, massive reduction of his performances, because he doesn't have anything to lose again. He's not planning or second term or third term. There's no third term agenda. So you will see massive reduction. But first term, he failed. There is no, wow, look at what this president is doing, or look at what this president has done for the citizen. Because of Tinubu, Nigerians now have this. Because of Tinubu, Nigeria now have that. The only thing you could say, tell me now, is because of Tinubu, Nigerians are not suffering. Because of Tinubu, Nigerians cannot feed themselves. Because of Tinubu, price of goods and services are not expensive. Because of Tinubu, the purchasing power has not been reduced. Because of Tinubu, the tax net had been widened. That is what he said, and it is what is going on. Tinubu said it many times that he does not care about what people are saying, but he focus. He's doing his job, and his job, what is he doing? Is his job that he's doing, focused on, is what has put Nigeria into this problem. Is what has increased the level of insecurity in our country because of what he's doing. After all, he said, I don't care what people are saying. And he doesn't listen to news. He doesn't come on social media. He doesn't listen to social media because people have abused out of him. He doesn't care. All this complete. He doesn't care. He doesn't see it as a concern. He doesn't see it as a complete. He take it as social media jokes. But it's not joking. We are not joking, because he does not understand. There's two different things. So it is very easy for you to run for an election. You win the election by every means, by manipulations, by rigging. It is possible. You have power, you have the connection, you have everything you could to win the election. But it is different from governance. You can win election by all means, so you cannot run the economy by all means. So it's two different things. Tinubu does not have what it takes to manage the economy of this country. That is why today, after he said we are still suffering, with the more money they are making from subsidy removal, Nigeria is still suffering. He's still borrowing more money. Nigeria is still suffering. Now the question is, what is he doing with the subsidy removal money? You would have thought after he removed subsidy, fuel jumped from less than 200 to 1,000 plus. You would have thought times how many? Times 500. Where is the money? That means 1 liter were 200 naira. Let's put it this way: 1 liter were 170. It was even below 200. Now let's say 170. Now let's see. We have 1 million Nigerians, for example. 1 million Nigerians buy fuel 170 per liter there before Tinubu took over. Now 1 million Nigerians, just 1 million. We are over 200 million. Let's say the fuel Nigeria buys 1 million liters of fuel at the rate of 170 naira then before Tinubu took over. That was why they were not making money. Times it, 170 naira times 1 million. Do you know how much? Then now times it again with 1,000 per liter times 1 million people. So you see the gap. What is this man doing with the money? Yet he ended up borrowing more money with no explanation, with no infra, with no project. With no project, nothing. But I will say that they are doing well. We should be patient. The government is doing well. It's a pain that you have to go through. There is light at the end of the tunnels. We don't see the working. We don't see how you are doing it. All economists that I've listened to, economists, they all say from day one till today, they are still complaining that it's not looking good. But even if you have to give these reforms applause that they are doing well, but what they are doing wrong is still way higher than what they have done right. That is to say, there is still problem. And the little one they've got right is not enough to give kudos to the government, because anything could have happened. Now, anything could have happened is the issue of dollars. In Nigeria today, we don't use Naira again because Naira is useless. Most people, industry you see in Nigeria today, this is even another reason why the country is going down. Our Naira has been devalued. There's no respect again. It's useless, I see. If you want to buy property now, even some sources are listening that Wike said, Minister of SCT, is selling lands in Abuja at dollars. He doesn't collect Naira. He's collecting dollars to sell land in Abuja, allegedly. If you want to buy properties in Lekki, they charge you per dollars. They don't accept Naira from you. If you want to deposit money, they have dollars account, domiciliary account, where you deposit dollar, not Naira. In Nigeria, where they now pay school fees, children now pay school fees with dollars, not Naira, dollars. But we use Naira in this country called Nigeria. We use Naira. But if you go to some supermarket now, some supermarket in Lekki, some stupendous area in Lekki, or maybe Port Harcourt again, some other state like that, where big boys, they have, even if they want to accept Naira from you, because some common Nigerians still use Naira, some big boys, they say they don't have Naira, they have POS, so they have POS for dollars, so they have price tag for dollars, they have price tag for Naira. It now depends on you, which currency do you have to pay for this item. Is Nigeria. They are doing it to go to some supermarket in Lekki. If you want to rent house now, they are charging you dollars, so not Naira. Even a country where they use dollars to pay Olusho, Ashawo, prostitute, they use dollars to pay them. These are the problem we are facing currently, because Naira has been devalued. Naira is useless. They don't trust your Naira again. They now value another country currencies than your own currency. There's a problem. There's a lot to say. As the reason country is going down the drain. So we need a rescuer, somebody to come and rescue this country, because if it continues like this, it will consume every one of us. Don't forget these people spreading rumors, propagandas. There's a lot of propagandists everywhere now. In it for APC, there was a video. This might explain. Even if, anyways, it is okay, it's all right. But hey, we must get it right to 2027. Follow who no road, so that all of us can get to our destination at the right time. Otherwise, there's still going to be problem. Because Tinubu is not ready to change. He's not ready to change from what he's currently doing. There's nothing different from Tinubu. There is no side that, okay, maybe you are going to bring, when you bring, if you are playing a football match, first step, they are beating you, your team, the opponent are beating you, maybe this and this and that. You know, that first step is when you have energy, power, everything, you are ready for this game. You are ready to deliver. If you fail that time, there's a probability you will not get it right a second time. But if you are able, your opponent tired, you bring in people, you change the game, right? But this one is not like that. Tinubu is the one man. That person, he's tired. First step, you see, the strikers, the midfielders, sometimes they are tired. First step, they are tired. You replace them. Now, Tinubu is the one man will pull. If he's tired in this first 4 years, he's not going to perform in second term. He's tired in first term. Second term, he's going to be tired throughout the tenure. You cannot replace him. You cannot say he's tired. You need somebody to replace him and do this. And Tinubu is not even ready. Even if he's sick today, Tinubu is not ready to hand over power to Shetima or whoever takes over from Shetima. He's not ready because he does not care. Now, what do you think? Enough is enough. What do you think? Please share this video and follow for more. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Very important, so that you get to see updates like this next time. 2027 is very critical. The country, the problem we are now, very critical and need a critical solutions. Who do you think is going to solve the problem of these critical problems we are into now? Think about it. Tinubu is not the person that is going to do it. He cannot do it. If he was, he would have done it now. So think about it, and we need to come together and say no to APC. Not just Tinubu. APC must go. Tinubu must go. 2027. Don't forget. Very important. Please share this video. And please, like I said, I'll be your guy. Now run out for me. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.